Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Oak 1.4 update, Death and Dishonor. Well, Death or Dishonor, not and. Or you get a choice, it's Death or Dishonor. You can't have your cake and eat it. Admittedly, both parts of the cake are bad. Maybe leaving the cake at home would be a good idea today. Anyway, we're continuing on as Czechoslovakia, the nation that is probably going to get absolutely steamrolled by Germany, but we will try to do it better than what happened in history. We won't go too crazy, we won't go communist, we won't go fascist, we'll just try our best to survive versus the German onslaught that will inevitably happen. And, yeah. So far, we're a year in. Got about a year out from where historically Germany's going to try and attack us. Let's see if we can hold on. Speed on, continue on, carry on, we got this. Totally not got this, but we're going to pretend we do. Sudetenland early fortifications, and notice we are now over 5% world tension. So if we had more, political power, we'd be good here. We don't. Which is a shame, because right now I could really go for reducing the number of, what was it called? Commercial good factories? Commercial factories? Yeah. Consumer goods, that's the one. Right. Strategic decision, gives us political power, we need trust in the West. At the same time, Beacon of Liberty is far away, we'll do strategic decision. They need the political power. Hopefully that'll still be... Ah! It's gone back to 5! Okay. Instead, we're going to hold on to political power. We'll wait. We'll grab it as soon as we can. We need to get consumer factories reduced. For those who don't know, consumer factories are directly removing themselves from the pool of civilian factories I have to actually build stuff with, because they're busy making toasters. Max planning... No, I really want to get to here for the defense bonus, but that's going to be like 2 years away. Well, 1.5. We might be able to do it, but it'll be tight. We need engineering company. It's much more important. Okay. Strategic decisions is pushing ahead. We've got people. We might be able to start doing some unit training. Let's do it. Let's use Alpine units, because all the distance around here, this is all mountains. If you click it, hills, hills. Oh, actually that's a forest. Okay. Mountains over here. Forest, but hills, hills, hills. Alpine units do get bonuses in hills, if I am correct. Let's double check that. Yeah, bonuses in hills. 20% attack, 5% defense, 10% movement. And the bonuses in mountains are even better. So we should probably go for a couple of mountaineers, because we're inevitably, if we actually manage to even push out this territory, we're inevitably going to end up fighting here as well. And that's all mountains. And the only way to do that is via mountaineers. You really need that bonus. So we will train up some. 4 seems like a good number to begin with. I won't set location for them just yet, because we're probably going to edit the division anyway. Right, we've got construction. Could go resources. Could machine tools. However, I'm kind of thinking we might have to do something like grabbing field hospital real quick, or... it's not a great choice. Well, actually, we're going to keep going on the battle plans, because we do want to try and get down to that bonus of defense. Every little's going to help. Hindenburg incident. Disaster narrowly averted today. Okay. Hindenburg didn't blow up. That's interesting. Trust in the West. Beacon of Liberty. Oh. That does have a decrease of research time. Tempting. Because that leads us to a change in our conscription law to extensive conscription, which will save us a lot of influence. I mean, political power, obviously. Trust in the West, however, might defend us better. And we need to do that. The longer we don't do that, the more we're playing with fire. But we need a couple of extra factories. We're just going to have to push ahead. We need the extra industry. If we don't get the extra industry, it doesn't matter. We're dead. Like, there's no getting around that. Improve machine tools. Modify government. I assume I can't. Oh, no, we can! Early mobilization! Bring it on. Now, technically, it's 150 to jump to pretty much any level. And I don't know if we're going to jump to 20 anytime soon, so we are going to buy it. Now, that is going to be very helpful. If we actually quickly look at these stats, early mobilization is only minus 10% to civilian factory and military factories in terms of construction speed. And you have 25% of your civilian factories will be for consumer goods, whereas civilian economy is 30%. So losing 5% of them is going to be very, very helpful. But also look at that. Conversion speed and the construction speed is 30% negative. It's only 10% over here. That's going to help us build these, which we desperately need to do. Also notice that we now have 21 available for construction. Now might be a time to start building that artillery. We're going to need it. Okay. We need to trade in for tungsten. That is completely fine. Portugal. Yeah, I know we're not using turret artillery yet. We will. We'll get around to that. Artillery is amazing. Modify government. I'm always a bit wary of a modified government that shows up now, because I'm kind of like, should I just save some to get an early increase to my productivity? Because if this jumps to 20%, I want to be able to go, bam, partial mobilization immediately. Or if I get declared on, just jump straight to war economy or total mobilization, whatever you need to do. For now, I'm kind of thinking we stick with it because we can buy these whenever we need them. Like, these don't give us bonuses except in combat, and we're not in combat. And if we do have combat, we can just buy them straight away. There's no point in buying something where we could save. The only difference would be these ones over here, which give us armor research time. We're not going to be researching armor, or planes for that matter, so I guess we can forget these. I'm actually going to tell you to go away. Mostly because people will complain at me if I don't. My preference would be to keep it up. Like, doesn't hurt me. Also means I've got something to click immediately, like, oh yeah. Immediately Earhart disappears. Oh no. Trying to circumnavigate the ropes of... Circumnavigate the globe is apparently a dangerous proposition. Who could have guessed? Leadership purge in the Soviet Union. Czechoslovak industry 2. That's lovely. We could go for 3. Get the divided nation consumer good factories to go down. Alright, we need... What we need? We need Trust in the West. We need Beacon of Liberty. We need Sudetenland advanced fortifications minimum. Ideally defensive preparations as well. So let's go Beacon of Liberty, because that gives us a research time buff. What's Hungary like at the moment? Still looks like it might go fascist. Beacon of Liberty, lovely. You know what? Maybe we should flip someone democratic. Probably can't flip Hungary. Yugoslavia, nobody knows, because historically they kind of flip-flopped a little bit. Like, the government decided to join the Nazis, and then they got overthrown by the people, and then Hitler was just like, oh, screw this, and invaded them anyway. And the country was half like, yay, Hitler, and the other half of the country was like, boo, Hitler, and it was weird. I guess I could try and get Romania on the side? I don't think it's going to make a massive difference. I could do boost party popularity, but I don't think it'll make a difference, because they'll pick their historical focuses, and that'll focus them whatever way they want to go. Did we just finish Beacon Liberty? We did. Wow, that was quick. Trust in the West. Let's get this done. How's that recruitment going? Almost done. Okay, well. Deploy him. Unassigned divisions. I am aware. And with that, how many towed artillery do we have? 68. That's not really enough for me to write home about. We're going to need a lot more than that to actually equip people. Hmm. 80. Yeah, keep it up. Just get that speed going. Improved machining tools is going to help. 37. Late 37. Resource buff, maybe. Motorized to get the field hospital? Not quite yet. Reconnaissance is too much. It's going to be weapons. We're going to have to go weapons. Support weapons. There we go. Do it. You kind of need support weapons, right? It gives you so many bonuses. Look at all that. Pluses all over the place. You need it. That's ahead of time. Guess we'll do the bonus for artillery, which will start to roll out soon. Right, how are we doing so far on that stockpiling? Marco Polo Bridge incident. Okay, so China and Japan are going to go to war very shortly. 140. Trust in the West has been done. Bonus to land doctrine. An extra research slot. We need more factories than we have at the moment to do that, though. We could go this way. Again, we need more factories. More fortifications? Maybe. We'll go Czechoslovak industry for the moment. Aha! There we go. Look at those. We've got fortifications all down here. Might regret going for that one. Might be a little bit greedy to have gone that far. Can I request a license for production on something? What about that? They won't accept. Okay. Still won't accept. That sucks. I guess I can improve relations with you. You know what? I've got plenty of political power right now. I think it's worthwhile trying to improve our relations with the Allies because we're probably going to need them. Can't ask to join faction until we get 80%. That's ridiculous. I mean, it's not ridiculous. I understand why it's there, but it's just not going to help us. Not at this stage, it's certainly. Japan declares war on China. The conflict in China is worrying. Italy announces claims on Yugoslavian territory. Okay, things are going to go very rapidly from now. Chinese United Front forms an unstable alliance between normal China and communist China. I say normal China. They were kind of propped up by the Nazis to an extent, weren't they? Am I correct in that one? I'm not sure. Sudetenland. Defensive preparations. I kind of want that for the extra people. We really could do with people right now. Our manpower is very low. But that does increase our recruit population, and we need the factory. Not the factories, we need the forts. We need to go from 3 to 5, and then hopefully to 7 as well. Right, grand battle plan. Prepared defense, yes. Support weapons. Improved infantry equipment. Soft attack plus 5%. Whereas over here, defense and breakthrough, yeah, this seems more up my street. Support weapons too. And it makes sense because it's machine guns and stuff. They need to be deployed, so it's much easier to defend with them than to attack. We need more bodies on the border as well. We really need to up that manpower and start getting people out here. How much Artillery, that's going to have to do. Right. Let's talk about our divisions. So, infantry, we will want artillery, artillery, remove, combat with 20, soft attack increases to almost double, HP goes down by roughly 20%. That'll be expensive, but sure. We're also definitely going to need an engineering company. And then recon company. And then support artillery. It's going to be expensive. The soft attack is very nice. That organization hit, though. Ooh. Yeah, maybe get rid of that extra artillery. Okay, done. You, on the other hand, engineering company, recon company. Do we want to give you artillery? I really would like to give you artillery. Right, hills. Yeah, 120%, 120%. 135, 135. I think if we add a artillery group here, it will affect that. Yeah, notice that our ability to move and stuff has gone down because we're actually kind of diluting ourselves. However, if we put the artillery over here, we're okay. Because it doesn't count as a division here, it counts as something extra. It's support, rather than actually part of the frontline group. Let's save this as well. With that, notice that most people stayed regular. Ah, there we go. End of Spanish Civil War. Republican state, Spain won. Yeah, notice as people are sort of changing their loadouts, we're seeing that propagating. That's a year ahead of time. We are in 1938 now, so Czechoslovakia is probably going to be hit at some point this year. So if we've got any cards we want to play, we need to play them now. Computing machine for research bonus, I guess. Got to spend our political power on something. I'm not exactly sure what. I can buy these when war commences, can't I? Recovery rate, division attrition. I guess if we get division attrition now, that might apply to training as well, so we might lose less stuff during training. Oh, did we get enough? Ooh, we need to reinforce that. We're still getting up to speed. We really need more artillery. Should have probably started that a lot earlier. Anschluss. There we go. Anschluss has happened. That's extending our border. Hungary secures Romanian support for rearmament. Without consulting us, the Romanian government has signed a treaty with Hungary, allowing or removing the restriction of the Treaty of Trianon. Hungary is now allowed to rearm freely and develop all manner of military equipment, including tanks and planes. While it's been an open secret that Hungary has been expanding its army, this new agreement will soon bring them to the point where they could be a military threat to us once again. So we could lodge a protest. Hungary gets unhappy, or follow the Romanian lead. No, I'm not gonna follow the Romanian lead. Hungary is a problem for me. They are right next door and worrying. We're gonna lodge a diplomatic protest. The Treaty of Trianon was actually pretty harsh. It really clamped down on what Hungary could do militarily. Like, massively. It's basically the Treaty of Versailles, but for Hungary. There we go. Advanced fortification. We could step it up, go full hog. I think we need to go defensive preparations first, though. And I also think we should cancel those, and we should focus on getting some military factories in now, because we're going to need them. Right, we've got reasonable amount of manpower, we can start building more. Let's get some relatively normal divisions in. We'll set location Moravia. Moravia, there we go. Moravia, like they want more raves. That's the way to remember it. It's probably not pronounced like that. Feel free to correct me down below. Just bear in mind that I may not pay attention, because that's my thing. Pronouncing things wrong is basically my thing at this stage. It would be off-brand for me to get anything right. We'll also train a few more of you as well. And you can train as well. Because you have a couple of people who are not perfect, and people down here who are considered fresh, and that is always very, very bad. Improved infantry equipment, let's do it. Oh, there goes our manpower. It'll be back. Oh god. That artillery. There we go. We've now increased our manpower by going to extensive conscription. We've got 500,000 people we can conscript. I really would like that extra tech slot. Don't get me wrong, but I really think that this is going to be required. It's a difficult choice. That reduces consumer-focused factories, which is really helpful. That extra research slot is really helpful as well, especially as we start cracking out more important things. We've got enough research. We're going to have to do the Sudetenland fortifications first. They're too important. We've got to get up to that 7 bunkers on the border rather than just the 5. Because I don't know how hard they're going to throw at us. And if the West ignores us, they're going to throw hard. Still not aligned. Boost party popularity. Democratic, might as well. It's a bit late in the day to be doing that. Can we license production? They still won't accept. They're so close. Come on. The opinion of us is 100. Really? Oh, they will give us basic infantry equipment if we want it. We can learn how to build basic infantry equipment. No. Not a chance, mate. Can I stop improving relations? Oh, I guess I have, because you've gone to max. Okay. It's a bit of a raw deal. You're still training down there, that's fine. 28. I did not notice that. This is a good opportunity to... partial mobilization. Consumer goods factories goes from 25 to 20%, and we also go construction speed 10% rather than minus 10%. And we have 3 military factories. Awesome. My god, we're going to need them. Indian National Congress triumphs in provincial elections. France changed the diplomatic status with us. Guarantee independence. Thank you very... Oh, here we go. German Reich is justifying against us. Here we go. Pretty bang on historically. What was it? October 38 off the top of my head? So they're justifying now. It looks like they're on track for an October 38 invasion. How are we doing with those troops? They're called up. Don't enough artillery. Mate, none of us have enough artillery. Deploy them anyway. They're just going to have to learn on the job. United Kingdom's guaranteeing us that's the final fortifications done. We could do the Hungary line at some stage, but for now that'll have to do. An extra slot would be great. Yes, an extra research slot, thank you. Uh-oh, that is a lot of shifting around of German troops there.
That's okay then.
Once you get fully trained up, we're going to stop. Not you. We don't have time to fully train you up. We're going to need to start hunkering down. August. Right, stop training. Start practicing. What do you want to do? If there's a war, and then they attack Poland, which I expect them to do, our first port of call is to secure this area here with Poland. I don't know what it's called. It probably has a name historically, but I'm going to call it the Czech Polish Gap. Because if we can grab this, it's going to be very hard for Germany to defend, especially if we can maybe close it off. In fact, maybe that's what we should do. New order. Spearhead. Maybe don't attack Dresden directly, because they'll probably defend it. And then we can close off this gap, and any troops in here we can then just crush at our leisure. Now, of course, this depends on Poland getting involved. We'll see. Insufficient resources. Not enough steel? We need to buff our steel. Okay, France. Of course, when the war begins, it's going to become very hard to actually get any resources, especially from the west. Might be able to get some from Soviet Union through Poland, provided the Soviet Union actually don't go to war at the same time. Bad chance of that. What else do we want? More military factories, or just pump out a couple more civilian? I think it's more military. Improved infantry equipment. That's ahead of time. It's very tempting ahead of time. Do it. Now you're actually guaranteeing me, will you? You still won't allow me to license production. I think I have to be in their faction for them to really allow that. Right, prepared defense. Brilliant. We actually managed to get that in time. Grand assault, breakthrough soft attack. Maybe. I think more important right now is to get stuff like excavation and maybe this ahead of time. Probably excavation. The extra resource is going to be helpful. Right, there's computing machines. Let's get decryption. Because being able to decrypt the German communication is going to be very helpful. If they go historic, they'll get encryption, so... Unassigned divisions. Aha! Ah, that's slowly being rolled out. Lovely. We still need more artillery, but we're getting closer. Still not good enough. Okay, in the meantime, we have people. Let's try and get some on the front line. Train. They've got enough manpower. Lies to me. Right, you need to train because you need to be upped, but I'm not going to put on the front line because that means training everybody. So instead, we'll train you here. The 4th International. A number of communist delegates from around the world met in Paris today for a founding conference laying the groundwork for what has been known as the 4th International. Calls upon its formation have existed for years, with supporters of Trotsky's theories taking the lead. Stalin has responded to the growing support for Trotskyism abroad by ordering additional assassinations and increased propaganda against his old rival. With the past purges of suspected Trotskyists in the high ranks of Soviet military and leadership in recent memory, this is unlikely to be met with any resistance. Ooh. Okay. How communist are you? Still a big chunk. Okay. Ah. You're the only one you're guaranteeing. I'm the only one you're guaranteeing. Words. I can words. Right. Wait. Why are you... Is it... They've doubled up over here because of this order. I think I should use a normal order and not a spearhead. I think a spearhead is why it's got that a little bit confused there. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't want the spearhead. Britain and France announced an alliance. They are preparing for the worst. However, the Munich Diktat. German demands for our territory in the Sudetenland region have become increasingly hostile, and now their forces are massing along our border. A conference is being held in Munich, where European leaders are discussing the future of Czechoslovakia, but we haven't been invited! This actually happened, and yeah, we haven't been invited. That's kind of... Not nice. Not nice, people. Both the British and French have rescinded their earlier promises to support us against German aggression. The diplomats have made it clear that if we choose to resist Germans, we do it on our own. Perhaps we have no choice but to surrender the Sudetenland. We will never surrender. Never give in! Never surrender! However, I'm going to play for time as my troops get back in position and start entrenching. How are we doing with that entrenchment? Yeah, you're at max 42. 52. Okay. Never surrender. And you're trained up as far as I care. Get to the front line. You're going to need to get to the front line quickly. Here we go! Okay, German Reich declares their diplomatic status with us. Declare war. Okay, the Munich Diktat. German demands for Sudeten territory in Czechoslovakia, which is home to a considerable German minority, have intensified recently. At a summit held in Munich, Germany, France, Britain, and Italy sought to find a diplomatic solution to the so-called Sudeten crisis. While Britain and France have accepted the German demands as a reasonable, Czechoslovakia, which wasn't invited to the conference, has refused to yield an inch. It now faces Germany alone in what appears to be a hopeless battle. However, our allies liked us enough that they actually refused. Australia has joined. South Africa has joined. Czechoslovakia has called France in as our ally. Called United Kingdom in as our ally. New Zealand has joined the war. And Dominion of Canada has joined the war. France wants military access. You can have it. We're at war with the German Reich. And they're already pushing at us. However, we're in a pretty good position right now. I wouldn't say our position's perfect by any means, but we're in a pretty decent position to at least defend initially. Note that our line is very thin. We're looking at single units in most places. Occasionally you've got this small double, but the vast majority of these are single units. The downside for the Germans, though, is that they are also mostly single units. There's 3 there, you know, there's a couple spare here and there. They've got tanks, but they've also got small gaps here. Here. Actually, they're moving there. Oh, it's just the one gap then, I guess. But we have forts. So, if we can get some extra units out, we might, I really do emphasize the might here, might be able to hold this for a little bit. What we have to do is we have to hold long enough to get the UK to do a landing or to do a push assault. France to also be able to defend. Germany maybe over-declare, go for Poland. Maybe get, you know, the Benelux region involved. If we can do that, if we can hold out long enough and then do a counterattack, we might have a chance, because we did actually get the West coming to our aid. And getting World War II early, I think we're in luck here. If we'd had to hold out for a little while longer, without them, this would be bad. But as it is, going into this, I think this is a pretty good setup. We'll find out more next episode, though, so leave you on a cliffhanger. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, I'm evil, I'm not sorry. I like being evil, it's great. Like, subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you feel going into this. Personally, I'm feeling somewhat positive, although, you know, we are still a fairly technologically backwards nation compared to, say, the military might of Germany. And we've got a very large front to defend. But we have our advantages. Now, the one real question is, when is Hungary going to flip and join the Axis? Because when they flip and join the Axis, we're going to need to be prepared. we're gonna need to be prepared, because if we don't have anyone on the border, they will just come in and they'll crush this section, because it's a long slither. It's unfortunately really, really bad for us. We'll have to defend that entire border. But until next time, I've been EnterElysium. Stay shiny.